Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, July 25th to Saturday, July 31st. So a little bit of a recap before we dive into the energy of the week. Last week, we had Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and joy, move out of that fiery energy in Leo and move to the very earthy, very grounded, very calculated energy of Virgo. This is a healing time. We are restructuring and reorganizing our worth, our values, and then, of course, restructuring and reorganizing our energy exchanges within our relationships. This is really pushing us to clearly define what makes us happy, what brings us joy. Where do we have to create a little bit more pleasure in our realms? And of course, this is healing us on a very, very deep level. The day after that took place, we had the sun shift out of Cancer season. Woohoo, thank goodness. I know we're all emotionally exhausted. No more tears to cry, no more food to eat, no more family drama to be had. In order for the sun to move into Leo. Now the sun is in its place of power in Leo. This is the heart and soul of the zodiac. Yes, we are going to start off like a wet little kitten crawling out of the bath, but by the end of Leo season, we are going to be that big, bold, brave, confident lion, the king of the jungle. We cannot talk about the energy of last week without realizing that the bulk of it was connected to the full moon in Aquarius that we just had on Friday that we're currently still feeling the repercussions of. It was an emotional breakdown, a mental breakdown in order for us to have a very powerful shift in our mental plane, creating a breakthrough. Whatever it is that's been holding us back, providing us with restrictions that we would have been illuminated to last month under the full moon in Capricorn, now we are figuring out what it is we are no longer aligned with, what it is we're no longer connected to or excited about, and we are cutting the cord, cleaning the slate for this brand new cycle to take place. This week, I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be a doozy. We have so much energy building up to creating this brand new perfect foundation for us to build off of. First of all, this weekend is a peak of cosmic weather with solar flares coming at us, with just blasts of energy coming through the cosmos. We are at the very cusp between ending the old galactic year, entering into a new galactic year. We are going to experience what we call the day of no time. Literally the void in between cycles ending and cycles not yet beginning. Of course, this is the last week of July. We have to wrap up all the life lessons that July brought us in the numerological lesson of number 7. Partnerships, energy exchanges, balance, and of course, we can't talk about wrapping these particular cycles up without recognizing that Mercury, the ruler of the mental plane, is about done with that Cancerian energy. We're done thinking about the past. We're done being hooked up on old toxic attachments. We are done allowing people test and bust down our boundaries. And of course, once Mercury moves into Leo, we are going to be confident in speaking our piece, telling our story, speaking our truth. We are going to be thinking very big, very bold, very brave, and not much is going to get in our way of communicating effectively and, of course, with a whole hell of a lot of clarity. This week, Jupiter in a retrograde is backtracking, stepping out of this Piscean energy and creeping back into Aquarius. Of course, we're going to have to revisit some topics and themes that likely got initiated this time last summer, and this is going to have a huge effect on what it is that we see happen on the global, greater collective stage with the rules, with society, with this whole chaos and reorganization of how we're going to function moving forward in this new quote-unquote norm. Mars is going to wrap up his life lessons in Leo. Definitely going to have some prime opportunities this week to really drive those lessons home. That fire energy has been semi-stalled out. And unfortunately, we only have a little tiny bit of a window before Mars moves into Virgo. Not its happiest place. Definitely slowing us down. Not really as aggressive as we would like for this stage of the game, but before Mars jumps into Virgo, you best believe that that inner lion of ours is going to roar and we are going to be heard. Some big moves are going to be taking place this week. We are going to take action on a lot of new passions and desires before Mars grounds himself in that earthy healing energy of Virgo. And of course, this last week of July, wrapping up all these life lessons, wrapping up all of these perfect opportunities to create something new and to jump into a brand new cycle, we are building to the last quarter moon in Taurus on the 31st, closing the door, releasing all that we have learned, all that we experienced, all of the emotional baggage that we are not willing to take with us in this new month of August and in this new galactic new year. There's a bunch of new cycles about to emerge, so let's jump into it and let's see what this week has in store. So the ascension symptoms are going to be off the charts this week. We have to talk about something here, okay? We are moving into another timeline split. Of course, we can see out on the global grander stage of the collective where the divide is. You know, you can see very clearly who is on what side, on what team, who opposes what. We can see it very clearly. But even among those of us who are awake, who are divinely guided by the cosmos, by the light codes, by the source, we are seeing a divide in our collective as well. And it's not a bad thing. It's just showing us the newly awakened people versus the seasoned awakened people. And this is really going to kind of tell you where it is that you are on the ascension journey, because those of us that are newly awakened, we're going to feel the lower vibrations of the energies taking place this week, manifesting in exhaustion, manifesting in sadness, manifesting in inner conflict. Those of us that have become a little bit seasoned to this energetic blast of, the upgrade that Mother Earth is going through. And of course, we're helping her do that through our individual process of our journey. So the seasoned beings out there, we tend to kind of ride on the higher vibes, meaning, not saying that you won't feel exhausted, that you won't feel bouts of sadness, but for the most part, we're going to be riding high on the higher vibes of excitement, of passion, of desire, being very fired up. But let me throw caution to you, being fired up can also lead to some very destructive behaviors. Again, running that line on mania is never a safe bet. So even if you are tapping into these higher vibes and feeling the positive qualities of these energetic blasts, we still have to have a super fine-tuned awareness of what it is that we are experiencing, thinking, and feeling in order to balance and integrate these new light codes in, these new blasts, these new energies into our physical being. So, with this time split that, I'm going to jump into here when we start talking about each daily forecast, but this is a gap in the void, okay? And this is a very weird sensation. This is like euphoria. This is like a dream state. This is like the past, present, and future from all different dimensions of our avatar kind of overlapping. It's a very weird sensation. This is going to bring some very weird sensations in our physical body. Skin tingling, and I do not mean goosebumps, okay? Although you could get goosebumps, skin tingling is kind of like when you feel the electric static in the air and, it kind of creates a different sensation in different parts of your body. This could be a full body effect. This could be one particular patch of your body over the other, one extremity over the other. But basically, because we're in this void, because we're in this split of dimensional frequency, we are getting different vibrations hitting different parts of our physical body from all different angles, above, below, left, right, and of course on top of one another, because when our avatars from other dimensions overlap, it's that deja vu feeling. That is a validation marker that we are somehow on track, aligned with our soul's mission, our soul's purpose, and that interdimensional feeling is going to create some very wild, skin-tingling sensations. It almost feels like there's a fuzziness taking over. And it could lead to hot or cold temperature changes in that particular area. But I want you to pay attention to A, what you're thinking about and how it is that you feel when this sensation happens. B, who it is that you're around, because this is a key indicator of who it is that we are letting go of and who it is that we need to be moving closer to. This is essentially taking stock, an inventory of what it is that we're bringing from the past and what it is that we are pulling from the future in order to be in this present moment. So there is going to be some form of memory lapse as well. It's almost going to feel like you have a sudden memory pop up and you can't figure out if it's from this lifetime, it's from another lifetime, if it's from a dream that somehow you are getting fragments of. It's going to be very strange to figure out where these memory flashes are coming from. And basically, just to use the computer analysis once again, we're defragging our memories. Okay, so whatever it is that isn't going to help us moving forward, whatever it is that we no longer have to integrate, whatever it is that isn't helpful in our next level of this video game, we are getting rid of it. But of course, it has to come up. We have to acknowledge it. We have to be conscious of it in order for it to be deleted for good. So with that, of course, there are going to be huge gaps where we lose track of time. We are zoned the F out. We are living multiple simulations and multiple dimensions all at one time. And this is going to lead us to be very, very disoriented. Again, it can feel very dreamlike, but at the same time, it's unlike any other kind of dream that you've ever had. Because of this, a lot of insecurity, a lot of, uncertainty can kind of creep up. And although it could create a lot of, anxiety because we feel like we're changing, we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're anxiously awaiting to see that change in our physical realities. But it's almost like we keep trying to take a deep breath to center, to ground, and we can't quite get enough air into our lungs for that feeling, that need in order to take a deep breath to actually go away. So we're going to have to struggle with our breath work this week as we kind of fine tune our frequency, our vibration to the new cycles and to the new realities coming in. This could almost present as a little bit of a mental block, a thinker's block, a writer's block, if you will. There's a lot of head pressure happening here because, our spiritual selves, our higher selves, we know, we just have this gut feeling, this intuitional pull that we know something big is on the horizon. We know something's changing. We know that we are ascending at a rapid and accelerated rate. But our physical selves, when we try to ground, we try to center, we can't think past our current reality. We can't think about how these changes are going to happen, how we're going to morph our realities. And because of that, there kind of is like this dull ache. I hesitate to call it a headache, although that is very possible if you're in the purging stage. However, it's almost like this dull ache that we're struggling. We keep hitting our head against a wall when we're trying to think of a linear process on how it is that we're going to evolve from this particular situation. And of course, there are bouts of excitement and mania and hype. And this is what I threw caution to you about earlier in this forecast, is that can be dangerous too. We can burn ourselves out way earlier than we need. We can hit a dangerous level of just going with the flow and flying by the seat of our pants and riding the hype and riding the wave. And it could create a lot of energetic exhaustion, energetic burnout. So although it is good, we want to dive into the higher vibes, we want to still remain super cautious about how much energy we're actually putting out there, how revved up we're actually allowing ourselves to get. Because I tell you, there's going to be sudden blasts of urgency take over here in our realm this week, because again, we can see the future in our mind's eye. We can feel that energy pulling us towards, our destiny point, our new path, our new reality. But physically speaking, we don't see it manifest yet. And so we're having these rushes where you could feel very warm, where your body temperature just feels like it's on fire, like it'll never cool down. And my caution is that with this kind of unstable fire energy, because that's where it is, it's our fire energy. The sun is in Leo. We have a lot of initiation to do, a lot of big moves to make. And that, of course, will kind of manifest in urgency. It can also spill over into sudden fits of rage and aggression. Why? Because we just want this stage to be over. We just want this frustration to be done. We just want this cycle to end so that we can move on to creating, to taking action, to living in the new dream and the new vision that we've been looking really, really hard to actually manifest. So with that pressure building, I want you to pay attention to the sensations in your head. Most importantly, it's going to feel like maybe you bumped your head off of something, and you could even be rubbing a particular point on your head saying, did I smack my head off the car? Did I hit my head off of a cupboard? What is the deal here? It's very sensitive to touch. And that particular area is where the energy beams are coming in through your crown chakra. These are where the light codes are coming in. This is where the information is coming in, and it is going to feel very sore. Now, one of the helpful hints that I want to throw out to you, when you're having a lot of crown activation, third eye activation, a lot of pressure in your head, a lot of spinning, a lot of dizziness, and we know that this is an energy ascension symptom, put a toque on or put your head up, especially black colored clothing. Put something on your head, put a covering. They call it the veil. You veil your head in order to slow down the energy coming in. It doesn't prevent it. It just says to the universe, whoa, I'm overloaded here. My head is pounding. I can't take it. I need you to slow your roll. And of course, providing that little layer of, infiltration, if you will, is going to slow down that energy coming in and hopefully will help ease those physical feelings that you're feeling in your head. So our thirst is going to be wild this week. I want you to be very cautious about how much water you're actually taking into your body. I know that Cancer season really provided us with a lot of opportunity to take on food because of the cravings, my goodness. But now we're moving into Leo season. This is a fire energy, soaking up every ounce of energy that we have in our physical body. So we want to stay hydrated. It would also be very beneficial if you're feeling the need, if you're feeling the craving, to switch over to smoothies, to switch over to juices, get that liquid diet nutrients going, because I tell you, we are going to lose the physical weight that we gained from Cancer season and all of the cravings and all of the junk food and all of that. We're going to lose it over the next month because literally the fire in us is burning through all of the energy that we stored up through Cancer season. That's why you feel heavy. That's why you feel bloated. That's why you feel depleted. So we have to make sure that we're staying hydrated, we're putting the water to us, and the thirst, even if you are fully hydrated, is going to be dire. So definitely keep something on hand. The leg symptoms that we've been feeling, spasms, tremor, rigidity. We have definitely been feeling hesitant, taking steps forward. Of course, we're not fully encouraged to take big steps and make big moves now. If anything, and let me just be clear, if anything, we have to make calculated baby steps. We need to know that our legs are strong enough taking that next step to house our bodies. Because last season we had sea legs. We weren't very strong and dependable on our physical form. This time, being in Leo season, especially as we build toward the 8-8 portal, because I'll tell you, the lion in us really doesn't come alive until after the 8-8 portal. We are taking little baby steps, moving forward, taking risks, being bold, being brave, moving forward, of course, following our new heart and desire passions, but we need to be calculated. Because of this, we are going to feel the restless leg syndrome, mostly in the calves though. You'll notice your calves are sensitive, or they're, kind of spasming out, or they kind of have weird sensations. This is just because we are breaking free away from the fear that we hold in our kneecaps, preventing us from moving forward. We are breaking away from that. We are moving forward, but it's very calculated. So there's a little bit of nervousness that we're holding in our calves. So pay special attention to that. Lastly, we have some heart activations. We're always going to have heart activations and mental frame activations. Why? Because Venus and Mercury and Mars and the moon and the sun, those are our inner planets. The inner planets are on the move all the time, meaning that when they make an aspect with another planet, we're going to feel the ascension symptom, the energy from that planet. And Venus is definitely on the move this week. She is just fresh into Virgo. She's trying to heal her mind, her body, her soul. She's trying to level up her work. She's trying to rearrange and restructure her life, her routines, her relationships, to now be able to kind of align with this new vision, with this new energy, with this new want, need, and desire to put her own health and wellness first. So of course, we're going to have healing activations this week. And I tell you, it's going to go from one extreme to the next. It's either going to be insecurity, vulnerabilities, shaking, nervousness in our heart space, to 100% aligned, fulfilled, feeling good, feeling like we are on the right track. There's a lot of passion being activated because, of course, we are in Leo season. We are going to feel the flutters. We're going to feel, hearts racing and then slow down once again in order to integrate. This is just increasing the frequency and the vibration that we are moving into. And of course, we need a little bit of time to root that in and to integrate. So this week's ascension symptoms are going to be a little bit different than what it is that we have been experiencing. Of course, with the solar flares coming in and the cosmic weather adding to all of this, we are going to have huge highs and huge lows. And again, this is just validating for us that the time split that we are currently going through is really going to show us, especially the newly awakened, where it is that our bodies are heavy still, where we are exhausted, where we are tired, where we're still holding on to pain and trauma. And of course, us seasoned light workers that have had a little bit more time to adjust to this, we're not feeling it as abruptly as some of the people who just awakened to these new frequencies. So allow your ascension symptoms to let you know where it is that you're on your path. Listen to your body, give it what it needs. And of course, just understand that when you have these ascension symptoms, this is a huge validation and a marker that you are exactly aligned with the cosmos and exactly where it is that you need to be.